Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the yard. You get to see our beautiful faces this year. Welcome, man. This is a big year for us, man. We're trying a lot of new things, trying to get more involved and, more engaging with our fans, you guys out there with the football world, social media, trying to make sure you get to see us. We want to see you. We're going to implement a lot of different things as we go on, try some things, just bear with us. But all in all, man, we back. The yard, Rob, Breezy, so you can match the name with the faces now. Let's do what we do, man. Let's talk about some football, dude. It's been a crazy offseason, as always. We got some disappointing moves. We got some great moves. We'll touch into all that as we go along and stuff like that. But mainly, what a crop of rookies, man. We got everything from a two-way player to I feel like the running back is kind of breathing life back into that position. We got some young talent coming in trying to dethrone. We're talking about the Jaden Daniels, the second-year players that did what they did last year, and now they're coming in to solidify it. It's not a fluke. It's not just a flash in the pan. You know what I mean? So I'm excited, man. I'm excited about this year. We got a lot going on. Right off the back, we're going to start off with Buffalo. They looked the part towards the end of the year. I mean, we had our doubts at the beginning of the year as the year went on because, like we always said, we're not like most podcasts. We're not restricted by what we say. If we messed up, we messed up. We fucked up, we fucked up. We come back, we'll cover our asses. And, we thought that, Josh would end up having to do too much. He ended up doing exactly what he needed to do, and it propelled them further than anyone thought at that point. I mean, we always knew they had the potential to be a playoff Super Bowl contender, but to go to playoff and get a playoff victory is a big difference. You know what I mean? And I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it goes, man. I think it stays. I think they just keep climbing. I don't think they lost any pieces that's going to damage their chances of being at least as good as they were last year. So I'm just looking for them to keep it up. I know they drafted a cornerback, so they obviously see that their defense is a area for concern. So at least they're on the right path. They're well coached. They're gritty. And the one thing I like about them is they lost all those players last year and then went further than they've ever gone when they had this premier talent. You know what I mean? So I think everything bodes well for Buffalo this year.
I mean, you could say, because their defense was decimated last offseason. So we expected Allen to do too much. But I know it's hindsight now, but it's almost like you got the best of Allen finally. Was there something holding him back before now? Which I know is crazy to even fathom, but very, very shocking. I don't see any drop off from them this coming year. If anything, I know I can't even remember what their record was last year. It was something crazy, like 13, 14 wins.
I think so. 13, 14, yeah.
I mean, probably be about the same. I don't think, which I know we'll touch on the rest of that division, but I don't think there was much improvement within the division that's going to hold him back.
No.
So I think as long as he continues down that path, don't let this be the year where it's like, all right, we got a playoff win, we need more, I need to do more, and then you fall in the trap of doing too much. So
now it's like a I told you so moment. NFL not for long type moment. But next team is the Dolphins, man. The sporadic team that they are, we don't know what we're gonna get. I mean, we do. As long as it's sunny weather, in the summertime, we got a juggernaut offense that can put up 70 points. I mean, the way that Tua runs that offense like a damn point guard back there. I remember we sat here and we threw so much flack at Tua because of all you gotta do is throw the ball up and Reed go get it. Okay. Until they lost to him. Okay. And we sat here for about 2-3 weeks like, okay. Because when Tua came back and that offense picked right back up like it never lost a beat. He's a point guard. He's the point guard of that offense, and it holds true when you see him on the field. He makes the right decisions if it needs to be a dink and dunk drive. If I need to take shots, if Josh Daniels or Josh McDaniels, I always forget always mix his name up. McDaniels.
Yeah.
What does he want me to do? Like the way he calls plays, let me set up the deep ball. Let me set up the screen play by throwing the deep ball.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he knows what his coach wants and what he expects it to look like, and you can't put too much value on that.
No.
And we saw it. It was clear as day. Reek fell off a little bit last year. I mean, for Reek, you know what I mean?
Oh, he had a bad year.
He had a bad year. That's what I'm
saying. He had a bad year.
And then you think about it like that, it's like, okay, they was talking about moving him at one point. Reek.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I think he stays in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a love affair thing that if Reek goes somewhere else, don't get me wrong, Reek will always take his speed to wherever he goes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that offense is built around Reek's speed. Whereas if he goes somewhere else, he's gonna have to tailor his speed to another offense.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah, Reek and Waddle are the main focal points of that offense. But yeah, I mean, it starts with Tua, and he just we're just now. I mean, we're raving about the decisions and the point guard type of quarterback that he is. Well, you need to make a better decision on when and how to get down.
Yeah.
And protect yourself.
He makes all the right decisions until it comes to his health. Right.
I mean, that's all I want for the Dolphins this year, really. Win, lose, draw. Make it through a full season healthy. That's the main thing I want from Tua.
I mean, and when you look at that division, I mean, I know you already told him that you already said Buffalo, should take that division, but you got teams like the Pats that's going to probably make a little noise, maybe. I mean, we'll talk about that. We'll get to the Pats when we get to them, but is that division can look a little more competitive this year?
Well, yeah, and I agree, but I think we touched on it last offseason as well, is who gets the blame for how this team performs, cold weather or not.
Yeah.
I mean, when it's warm, they're at home, the first 8-10 games of the season, they're crushing anybody in their way for the most part. And then all of a sudden, they just hit a wall, and it's not one season. I mean, this is the norm for them. That's the holdup about them going anywhere.
Right. I don't know who. To this point, we talked about it then. I don't know who to blame because, you want to blame the coach because you feel like, let's coach them up on that. Maybe there's cliques need to be different. Maybe sleeping schedules need to be different.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the game plan, because of the players I have, perform differently in the cold needs to be different, right? But at the end of the day, the coach don't touch that field.
Right.
But ultimately, when it comes down to is in between those lines. And so I don't know. I don't know who to blame. I don't know, man. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. Next team, Justin Fields and the Jets, man.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. I am. I know you're more excited about Justin Fields. And don't get me wrong. I'm excited about Justin Fields, but I'm more excited about what this defense will do for Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see.
Yeah, because they quit last year.
They quit. I mean, 'cause that defense, come on, man, was Sauce and them.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah,
that's a better defense that was
quit.
put on the field. I don't give a damn who's coaching it. The effort wasn't there. Like, the pride wasn't there. So, I'm excited to see that. I want to see what that defense decides to give Fields, because if they give Fields anything that defense looked like 2 years ago, like I said, this division all of a sudden don't look like a clear Buffalo runaway. I'm not saying that they may not win the division, but there's some you play 6 games in your division.
Yeah.
That's that win or draw, depending on what those records look like after those 6 games, can make or break a playoff run.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm excited about the Fields and Brees backfield. Between that, Garrett Wilson, I think the potential's there, but I want to see a fair shot for Fields. Like I thought he played well with the Steelers last season, and then was just benched. And ultimately, I mean, yeah, Russ came in and they looked good for 3 or 4 weeks, and then it started relegating. But to me, Fields didn't do anything to deserve that.
Right.
And I think in this situation, it won't, barring injury,
Right.
That spot is his. So I'm just curious to see how that pans out.
Well, I think it's interesting that they drafted an offensive tackle, so obviously they're looking to protect him. That's a good sign. You know what I mean? I think they believe the same thing you believe. It's like, hey, this is our guy. We're going to live and die by Justin Fields, and I feel like he deserves to have a team depend on him like that. And yeah, I am excited to see what he does with it. Like you said, to truly have that.
Yeah, and I wonder. I don't know their offensive coordinator at all.
Me neither.
But I know, or at least I would assume, they would do something different offensively because you have more speed.
Yeah.
You don't have A-Rod.
Exactly. Like
quarterback
you would think at least more read options, things along those lines will come into play. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's more speed. I mean, this is ultimately a speed league. And I think that bodes well for them if done properly.
I think that they're going to take that division by surprise just because you're not going to know what you're about to get. You get what I'm saying? I mean, Drake May, you got a little bit of that last year towards the end. You got some footage on that. We already know Tua got tons of footage. Josh got tons of footage. But this Jets new look offense with Garrett and Brees and Justin Fields, and they might be able to catch a few of these teams in this division off guard by surprise a few times, which can bode well for later on in December. So we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. Next team, Mr. Pats, man, and this team I have a brewing excitement about. I heard a stat. About Drake May last year, and I didn't know. He was leading all quarterbacks in rushing from the time he stepped on the field to the end of season. And that's everybody. That's everybody.
Yeah, I mean, he did run a lot. He did run a lot.
But he was successful.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah, now, because you know how we sell. You know how we are. Now, if you're going to do something, be good at it. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn if you got Michael Vick speed. Every time you get from behind the line of scrimmage, you're running for 2-3 yards, getting crushed, losing the ball. Stop running.
Right.
And, hey, he was successful doing so. And then you go right there in the draft and you get him an offensive tackle. And I think they got I can't remember his name offhand, but I think they got a pretty good tackle already. And you add somebody else off the draft that you're obviously high on if you draft for first round. You're obviously high on them. You put those two bookend offensive tackles on the outside, and with Drake May's ability to run, all they need is a running game. Don't get me wrong. I don't know what's going on with the Stephon Diggs thing. I don't know. Because the problem is, if it was any other team, any other coach, I would go, it's just going to blow over. It's over. But with the New England Patriots and Mike Vrabel, I'm not so sure that this is just going to blow over.
I mean, he's practicing.
There's been no discipline.
He's practicing with the team.
But he's still not showing up for these places he needs to show up for. So it's like, not only, dude, you got away with murder possibly.
Which I think you're starting to see the whole fall off with him when he was in Buffalo.
Right.
I mean, hats off to the Buffalo organization because they did a damn good job of keeping it internal because nobody knew, but you could just sense it because you picked up on it. Like Josh Allen, like he was only getting a couple targets a game.
Yeah,
and we're talking about a premier.
And then when they started, remember, they were butt buddies.
He
literally said Josh Allen saved his career. Literally. So.
And then then he turned around and went to Houston. Kind of the same situation. I mean, Nico took that number one like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And Diggs barely getting targeted. So I think this might be good for Diggs in a sense if he can get his shit together. But you have a young boy in the backfield now. He's gonna needs a true number one,
a focused
number one.
Yes,
he would need to be focused, and that's not a good look.
No,
but here nor there, I'm rambling. But I'm very, very, very excited about this team.
I think
To
they
the
can-
point, I think they'll be the most improved.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna pump my brakes as far as them taking the division or anything
Right,
like
right,
that.
right,
Could
right.
they possibly sneak into a wild card spot? That's tough too. It is. I can see that. Like a goal that I have for the Pats this season would be above 500. I mean, this
yeah,
is a team that
that's
won
feasible.
like 4 games last
That's
year.
exactly. I hear you. That's feasible. And
I
that's
mean,
feasible.
if you can turn around very next season and win 9,
Yeah.
say go
No.
9-8,
Yeah. That's a big turnaround.
that's a huge
You're right.
turnaround.
You're right. You're right.
So
You're
I
right.
would give it. Yeah, to me that is a winning. That is a winning season for the Patriots.
As long as that defense can continue to improve and be sneaky good like they have been for the last year or two, you get some more production from your offense. Who knows? Who knows? All right, man. That's the AFC East, man. And like I said, that it's gonna be competitive. I think it'll be a more competitive division. I really do. Straight down to the AFC North. Baltimore off the break. Most talented roster, probably in the NFL. I mean, you got Pro Bowlers and talent everywhere. Another year of the King and Lamar, and Zay. You know what I mean? Pick a tight end, lively, and pick one.
Then they turn around and got D-Hop.
And then exactly. So, dude, here we are again, just like we were last year with them. How do you beat them if they don't beat themselves? No, I don't think we've seen that answer yet. The teams that beat them, we can point out 1 or 2 times in that game where they beat themselves. Whether it be getting away from what's working, whether it be Lamar being Lamar, just seems like at some point in time you just don't get as aggressive as you should be. Whether it be don't throw the ball down the field because you say he ain't got a deep ball. I don't know. But it seems to me, hand the ball off to Henry or do some type of read option every goddamn down. Stop overthinking it. Get out your own way. Like seriously, that defense is great.
Every year is what gets me.
This is what I'm saying.
Every single year.
I don't know.
I don't care who they lose. Either somebody steps up or they go and get some top tier free agent or they draft a diamond in the rough or whatever it is. There's like no drop off.
We thought, at least I thought, let me say this. I thought when they lost, who was it, Queen? That defense would take a step back. I didn't see it.
No.
And Queen is a perennial. He's elite. You lose a player like that, you expect to notice it. Didn't.
And like I said, I mean, this is the same franchise that was lost. Ed Reed really had no drop off.
Ray.
Ray.
No drop off.
No drop off.
No,
I
you
mean,
ain't
I'm not
lying.
taking anything away from them at all. I mean, they were otherworldly. Obviously, Hall of Famers.
Of course,
I'm
right.
just saying, you would think these names, they would drop off.
But then you get people that, young names that fall behind them, like Humphreys. Who is it?
Now you got Kyle Hamilton now. That's essentially another Reed. Plays everywhere.
And then, like I said, Zay and D-Hop, that can possibly end up being a problem.
Yeah.
Because D-Hop gonna run all your routes. And Zay gonna kill you across the middle.
Yeah.
He has no problem flashing across the middle.
Not
So
at all.
fearless. So I don't know. And you ever got to the point, when you see somebody and you say that you fried it every time you see him. Every time like it smell like a cat every time I see this nigga. Every time. Get to the point like I'm just tired of saying this shit. I don't know what the fuck wrong with him. I feel like I'm like that with the Ravens. Like I'm tired of saying how good they are. And us not having the next show being like, yep, so they won the Super Bowl last year.
Right.
Like I really am. Because they're way too good to be ending their season the same way every year. That's why it ain't happened this year. Someone needs to answer for it, and it's gonna come. The hammer's coming down, and we said
It
it.
would be John.
I know.
It would be John.
We said it.
And to me, I think this might be.
Yeah.
I think this might be it. Remember, I know we're getting ready to touch on the Steelers.
Well, I was say there's
next,
another
so
one that
I'm not going to say anything right this second on that, but at some point you have to, because that roster is too talented. You got guys working their ass off. Even like Henry, I mean, worked his ass off before he even became a Raven. He deserves.
Yeah.
He deserves to win one, and if you keep wasting these years. I mean, it's got to be something. I mean, like, not last year's playoffs, but the year before. I put that strictly on John.
Okay.
Because remember, that's a game where they led the league in rushing, and then they ran it like 7 times
against
in a playoff
the Chiefs
game.
Or some shit. Yes, I remember that shit.
I can't say that this last playoff run that they had. I mean, it looked like they stuck to the game plan. I mean, maybe it is one of. They just got beat. I don't know.
It's one of those weird things.
But of course, then on the flip side of that, you had Lamar played horrible that game.
Like I feel like it's one of those weird things where I don't think that game was the case of how it's been in the past. It's just when something happens so many times, it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter how we got to the end result. The end result is the same now.
Right.
At this point, I don't care how it. I don't care if it was John Harbaugh that changed the game plan again. I don't care if it looked like that Lamar choked a little bit towards the end and got a little cautious when he should have been aggressive. I don't care if. I just don't care.
At some point, there's no more excuses.
At some point, it's just the end result is the end result. And how do we keep ending up at this spot with this type of talent on this team? It's ridiculous. It really is. So it's the same thing. Like to my Raven fans, I'm not talking shit about your team because your team is awesome. Like it's like perennial contender.
They should be number one.
Yeah, it's a perennial contender year in and year out. It's just I don't understand why we're not talking about Super Bowl champion Ravens yet. Since y'all beat us in San Francisco back in 2012? I don't even know when that was. It was before then, probably. Shit, I don't even know. Oh, let me not get carried away, man. We promised to be a little different this year. We on camera now. You can watch us do this crazy shit. Next team. I'm sorry. Pittsburgh. This team has weirdly got under my skin within the last 3 weeks only. And you know why? Strictly for one reason only. It's this fucking A-Rod situation.
Yep.
Somebody, Mike Tomlin, somebody needs to come on social media like, look, we're moving on from this. This is too much. We got a damn season to play. We're in OTAs. We're supposed to be coaching up our quarterback right now. If it's Mason Rudolph. We should be forming my game plan. My offensive coordinator should be forming the game plan now to Mason Rudolph's strengths. Not, hey, who am I making this game plan with? Because if I'm a game planner, it depends on who the fuck my quarterback is, man. Vitally, it's probably the most important piece.
Yep.
Come on, do it. And you're trying to tell me right now that if I'm the Steelers offensive coordinator, I really don't know who my quarterback's gonna be right now. And we're in June, and I'm supposed to come with a game plan to get through 18 weeks of grueling fucking football. With these other defensive coordinators, they get paid just as much, some more than I do, because some of these teams are led by defensive-minded coaches. I got to go up against them, and right now, technically, let's be real, I'm about a month behind on my game plan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Remember, I've been saying that.
Like come on,
Like,
man.
I understood it when it first hit news.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I mean, there's a good chance. I mean, look at their quarterback room. I was like, yeah, I can see it. But that was back, like, the beginning of April.
Exactly.
And we're still in the same boat. And like, right now, the only news I want to see as far as A-Rod goes is I'm done. I've retired.
I get
and that's how. Or I would accept what you just said.
Yeah.
If the Steelers came out, somebody in the organization came out and said, look, I don't give a damn if you want to play or not. No. It's not going to be this year. Not with us. No. Not this year.
Not at this point.
This team, I've told you, That streak of 500 and over ball is
And
is
on
gonna
top
be
of
over.
that, man, let's be honest about A-Rod, right? Real quick. How many wins does an A-Rod bring to your team? Realistically,
What, just himself?
himself. Don't weigh what's on the squad.
What's on the-
Just him coming to your squad.
This day and age?
This day and age, that's what I'm saying. Real time. Probably none.
Right,
Honestly,
right.
I'm not gonna bullshit. Like I'm not denying who A-Rod is, dude. What he has accomplished.
I'll put it to you this way: you would have been better off keeping Russ
Yeah, I agree.
if you were gonna roll.
I agree
with A-Rod.
wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I'm not denying what A-Rod is. I'm denying. Well, no, I am denying what A-Rod is now. I'm not denying who he was. I'm not denying his football IQ. I'm not denying his ability to see and read defenses. I'm not denying to see him anticipate a pass. My question is, can he get the ball there still?
I was gonna say, I mean,
My question is, if that box starts, that pocket starts to tighten.
well, that's what I was going to say. Like,
He
you
starts-
saw it a lot last year.
It's like he ain't
Saw
looking
a
down the
lot,
field. He's
no.
looking back at that Achilles.
Yeah, because the defenses are so quick.
Yes.
They are so quick, and they're only getting faster.
I think the average last year was 2.3 seconds.
Mhm.
And you got to understand, 2.3 seconds the average. So that means there's teams that was a lot worse than that affected that average. So there's teams that are like 1 point something. You get what I'm saying? Like, it is real. And you in this, we'll talk about him as we go, but it's the Kurt problem.
Yeah.
And I think A-Rod is that situation. The only difference is Kurt got a better agent. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Kurt went and got one from Mobland, and A-Rod sit and do black retreats with his.
I was just saying, Kirk be dead, still get paid. Oh man,
Oh, my
yeah,
God,
but I don't. I think this is going to be a bad year. I think
agree.
this will be a bad year for the Steelers.
I think they will go. I think
they'll hover around the 500. I mean, I can see probably like a 7-10, 8-9, something around there.
Well, they went and got a defensive tackle, I guess to help JJ. You know what I mean? But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what
I think, like I said, we're on the team. I gotta say it. I do believe this is Thomas last year.
Yeah.
With them.
Yeah.
With them.
Right,
Not done
right.
coaching, but I think it's gonna be a mutual thing. It's just best to.
I got you.
And it might be better off for Tomlin. You know, I don't know what the ownership's like. I mean, who knows? I'm not saying Tomlin is a bad coach, but by no means. So I mean, trust me. Come next off season, if they do mutually agree to part ways, there will be many teams that will gladly.
Yeah, I agree.
Gladly take, regardless of what happens this year.
I agree. I agree. Like I said, I'm just end it like this. I'm pulling for Mason. I'm pulling for you, dude. Because A-Rod is doing too much. Next team. The defensive-less Bengals, who went and drafted a defensive end,
Oh, they did.
and if your offense has any combination of any type of any combination of the three, if you got a good quarterback and wide receiver, a good running back and quarterback, a good running back and wide receiver, you're probably gonna beat the Cincinnati Bengals. No bullshit, because their defense ain't stopping nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You give them a napkin, they know it's gonna still run.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't stopping shit. I don't give a damn what you do. So when you think about it, we're talking about, Joe's. Like I think Joe's last year. I don't give a damn what Joe got to do. If it happens like it did last year, I don't give a fuck what you got to do. Retire and then come back if you have to.
Oh, to get out of Cincinnati?
You got to get out of there. Because it'd be such a heartbroken career for Joe to break every Hall of Fame record in passing yards, passing touchdowns, QBR, just down the board. 3-win season. 4-win season. You laughing? I remember 1 week last week, nigga. 1 week last week. We sat there and we fucked around. It was a game they was about to have. I forgot who they played. I think it was the Cowboys. I want to say it was the Cowboys. And we sat there and we was like, what's the score gonna be? We predicted the score. And I think I said the Cowboys gonna put up 35 points. No, I said the Bengals gonna put up 42 points and lose. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't that far off.
No. I mean, they put
I
up.
think it was like a.
Then they put up damn near 40 on the Ravens defense.
Yeah,
and still
lost. That's what I'm saying. I think they played I think it was the Cowboys game last year. And I think they ended up putting up like 32 and fucking lost. It's weird, man. I've never seen a team put up so many points and the offense looks so ridiculously good, and it just matters none. Zero.
And they really, for the most part, did nothing to improve their defense. Yes, I know they drafted a defensive end first round, I get you. But other than that, they really didn't do anything to take care of that issue. So you're going to essentially roll out the same squad. Mm-hmm. You're going to get the same result. Yep. That's how it's going to be. And I still say to this day, I hate to say it to you Bengal fans, you should have let T. Higgins walk.
You probably would have got more in return from him.
Oh, yeah. How much money you would have saved, because I don't give a damn. Okay, so you kept T.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where you are this season with no defense.
Exact same place you were last year, yeah. Yep, exact same place you were last year. What I don't understand, like I said, is you got, and then your perennial defensive player that you do have, you don't pay.
Yeah. Do you even have the money to pay?
And then you go draft.
I just thought about that. They drafted a defensive end. So what are they planning on not paying this man?
What do you mean? We don't need him. What do you mean?
Oh,
You talking about you talking about, okay, so our team don't have defense. Okay, we don't have a defense, but we have this perennial Pro Bowl player, right? And we're not going to pay him. We're going to draft a lesser talented player to replace him. See a pattern here. I don't know what Joe did. He broke a mirror, saw a black cat. Like, stepped on a crack, broke your mama's back.
All right, Joe, I agree. No matter what happens this year.
You got to get out of there.
You better get out.
That's what I'm saying. At this point, you got to get out of there, man. And poor Chase, you got to leave Chase. I know that hurts, but you got to leave Chase. Yep. You got to leave him.
Hurt.
That's gonna hurt, but you gotta leave him, Joe. You gotta get out of there. That's my final. Listen, if we're talking about the Bengals, that's my fucking conclusion. Joe gotta get out of there. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, because that defense, let's be real, I know you're a Josh Allen fanatic. That defense cost Burrow MVP.
Oh, I know.
Easily.
I know.
Easily.
I'll forfeit that being a Josh Allen fanatic. I will, because if you look at the numbers, just the numbers, not the result of the games, because the result of the games is why Josh got it.
Yeah.
But because if you just look at the I mean, because we said it. We even said it. Josh got that on the year that he didn't have to do as much as he usually did. Mm-hmm. Seriously, like, we was pleasantly surprised that he was able to not take a back seat, but at least put it in first gear.
Right.
When he's always fourth gear the whole time, all year. You know how he usually is.
Oh, yeah.
So he was able to drop that thing down to first gear and get himself to a Super Bowl. I just, when I look at the Bengals, Joe gotta get out of there, man. Joe gotta get out of there, man. You gotta get out of there, dude. Like, you're gonna be that player. You're gonna be that player. I'm so serious. Like, you're gonna be talked about for years. Like, our best quarterback was Joe Burrows. We still ain't. It's 20 years later. We still ain't had a Super Bowl. Still ain't had a defense. or they gonna finally get one. 20 years later, they gonna be like, if we'd have had this defense with Joe, I'm telling you, I can see it. I'm predicting the future. All right, next team, man. We spent too much time on it. Get away, Joe. Get out, Joe. Oh.
Hey, you can go to Cleveland.
But don't go to Cleveland, though. That's not what he said.
They already got 5 QBs.
No, they ain't got no room for you anyway. Y'all gonna be lapping up. Oh my God, fucking Cleveland quarterbacks. That's what we're gonna call them. The Cleveland quarterbacks. They drafted every quarterback,
Plus the
picked up
defensive
every free agent quarterback. They called their boy like, hey, yo, you know a quarterback? Trying to get him to call me real quick. Look at one quarterback. Look at one of them dating websites. My perfect quarterback.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, man! I don't know, but for honestly, man, like I don't know what compels a team to end up with 5 quarterbacks on your roster and draft 2 of them back to back, one round to another round.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, I can see if you had 2 veterans that was on the team last year, one who's been there, one that you picked up because you knew you was gonna draft someone.
Case in point, the Steelers.
Well, hold up. How come the Steelers ain't called Cleveland like, hey, you got one to spare, nigga? And Cleveland like, nah, the way my quarterback room set up, I need 5. I have to check 1 or 2 to save or something. Oh my God, man! No, like for real. Oh, let me stop. But for real, what compels you to get 5 quarterbacks? Like I was saying, I can see if you got 2 veterans because one just finished the season with you. You picked one up off the free agency that just passed. You draft a quarterback who's going to be your future. That's 3.
Right.
I can't explain a 4th.
Well, I mean,
let alone a 5th.
they had Deshaun. We all know the deal. I'm not even.
Yeah.
But
That's the veteran that was there. Okay,
so that's the one, and then they have what's his name? Dorian Thompson
yeah,
Robinson. So that was your second.
That's my second.
Then they signed, I believe it's Pickett.
Yeah, they signed Pickett. So
and free agents.
So he's the oddball. That's one oddball.
Yeah.
And then you draft.
2. I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Like when they drafted Gabriel first.
Mm-hmm.
So not first round, but I'm saying out of the 2 quarterbacks, they drafted him first.
Mm-hmm.
With Shador was still sitting there.
Yeah.
Which was very mind blowing, at least for me.
Because
I really thought that the Steelers were going to take Shador.
I think for the world.
But anyway, so I was like, all right, damn, Shador might not even get drafted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then turn around, very next pick for them, draft Shador.
And you want to explain to me that either one of them quarterbacks is supposed to have the confidence that you believe in them?
Right.
I mean, let's not talk about the fact that Shador has been killing OTAs better than every other quarterback on their roster. We'll speak on that, but straight off the back, where's the confidence in either one of those drafted quarterbacks, man? First of all, you got both of them who's drafted later into the draft, so that's going to hurt your confidence anyway. I mean, Shador big time, because Shador thought he was coming off the board first round picks.
Right.
Okay. But the other guy, maybe not. That ain't going to bother him so much. But then to have a quarterback drafted, you draft the one that doesn't think he was being in the first round before the one that believed to be in the first round. Like I got lost right. Like my brain was like, stop, that's stupid. At what point does someone call this front office like, what the fuck did we just do? Who dropped the ball on this and who am I about to fire? Because this dude, this is a lot of unweighted. Just you gotta get all these motherfucking reps.
Yeah.
Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, this actually may be helping Shakur because you gotta think about it. I guarantee if I'm not gonna say that. Let's just say there's a possibility with the reps going up. There's a chance for the ratio goes off. If you're throwing the ball 10 times, the chances of you throwing 5 picks and 5 interceptions, 50-50 is 5 and 5. It's easy.
Right.
We go 20. We go 35 reps. Now that shit gets a little more tricky in there. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you're not even getting a true read on these quarterbacks because all they get 8 reps apiece out of a 2-hour, 2-a-day practice, nigga. What are the other one doing for the whole rest? Okay, so say Shador throws first. The fuck is he doing for the rest of practice? And if you're social media and you're coming to see him throw, you better get there early. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Go ahead, man. I'm done with Cleveland. Go ahead. I'm done with Cleveland, man. Fuck.
I will say, seriously, I believe Shador starts. At least from what I've read, from what I've seen, it looks like he's honestly deserved it. I mean, it looks like he's been good in the locker room, everything behind the scenes, producing on the field. I know it's OTAs, take it how you will. But it might be a blessing because he might take all this as something to prove.
Yeah.
Because, I know where I should have been drafted at.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I got drafted at. What was it, 6th round?
Right, yeah.
And I was skeptical because of the market. I thought he needed to go to a big market team. Well, I mean, as it holds right now, if he becomes the number one, which I believe he will, he could at least make it his team.
Right.
And then maybe, just maybe, they'll get the hell on from Deshaun.
Right. Yeah, you would think so. Because that's another one that I'm not saying Deshaun get out. I'm saying Cleveland let out. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you gotta get that situation is just saturated that whole fucking franchise for way too long. Next team, Tennessee. I don't know what to think about Tennessee, man. I know Levis is in there. He's trying. Who is that? Is that Will Howard? No. Who's that?
Ward.
Cam Ward. That's Cam Ward. My thing is this. If he goes out there and he balls, I mean, we talked about the Titans last year. We was telling them that, there's pieces there. It's just the fact that Levis could not stop making fucking bonehead plays. And the fact it wasn't just bonehead plays, it was the repetitiveness of the bonehead plays. It wasn't like it's a different play every time. It was almost the exact same fucking play every time.
Yeah.
The players did go down with the ball in your hands. Live to fight another day. Stop putting your defense, that great defense, in situations to make them look bad. Because eventually, even a great defense, you keep putting them in red zone situations right on the fucking field, and they start losing their own confidence if they keep getting points ran up on them. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Even if it's only because they lost faith in you. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just think that I hope Cam works out. Hopefully, I want to see if that defense stays the way it was, because that defense could be scary.
Well, the defense was really a surprise last year. I mean, I know they got a lot of the big names, and free agency and stuff, but for them to mesh that fast, was definitely a surprise. I'm pulling for Cam. I question his himself, really. Just not his ability. I'm losing the word, but just like I said back in college, not senior year, but his last year where he just quit on the team.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they won. Ultimately, they won the game, but he was going for some type of personal record.
Got you.
And once he got it, he took himself out.
Right. No.
And I didn't. It wasn't a good look for me.
I agree.
I'm not taking anything away from his talent, anything of that nature. I think that there will be improvement for Tennessee. I don't think it's going to be quite as drastic as people are saying. It's borderline. I'm not going to say Caleb Williams hype of last year, but it's borderline. Just immediately either taking the division or getting in the playoffs as a wild card team. I mean, you gotta look at this AFC. I mean, there's at least 2 divisions just in the AFC where they're going to be, in my opinion, at least 3-team races.
I hear you. I see that.
And that could essentially eat up all but the 2 division winners from the other 2. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, is it possible? Yeah. I'll pull for him.
I got you.
But, I mean, it's one of them, he's on a short leash as far as players that I pull for. Like, if I see any of that me type deal, I'm just
Got you.
I'm really not for that.
Got you. Okay. Next one, Texans. CJ. Live and die. CJ. CJ took a step back, came down to earth. Yeah, I guess it was a whole season of welcome to the NFL rookie because apparently, I guess he was in shock and blacked out his rookie season and balled the fuck out. And then sometime during the offseason last year, he woke up and realized, oh shit, I'm in the NFL. I don't know.
Me either. I'm speechless on that.
I don't know. All I know is this. I know that it's year 3. I saw some stats. D'Amico, his defense definitely took a step back last year, but I don't know if that's his defense taking a step back or if it was because CJ putting the defense in bad predicaments constantly. 3 and outs, turnovers, playing from behind. You know what I mean? So I don't know what contributed to that defense taking a step back because I know how good of a defensive coordinator D'Amico can be. So I know first and foremost he's going to put a good defensive product on the field. Now don't get me wrong, I know that's not his only job anymore.
Right.
You're a head coach. You need to put a team on the field. I get that. But he gets the benefit of the doubt when it comes to that defense. To me, I think it's because CJ took that humongous step back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I mean, the one defensive stat that sticks in my head is last year, just in passing touchdowns, they gave up 31.
Yeah.
31 passing touchdowns, as opposed to the year before, they gave up 17.
Big difference. Yeah, almost double.
I mean, that's 14 additional.
Yeah.
That's basically 100 points.
Yeah. Woo!
Well, if you
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
7, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure CJ didn't do him any favors, but either way, that defense definitely, in my opinion, definitely took a step back. That number's just way far. I mean, if we were talking about you gave up 17 one year and gave up maybe like 21 the next, something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But talking about pushing double.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't know. I'm when it comes to CJ, I'm speechless. I don't know if it's one of those cases where you know how people love to say it. Well, they ain't had no tape on him year 1. I don't know if it was one of them.
You know my favorite quote: NFL not for long. Maybe.
But I mean, I know you pointed it out a lot too. Just in watching the game, to me it was more so internal with him.
Yeah, it looked like he just wide-eyed.
Right.
A lot.
And that to me would, I mean, I guess watching film could have something to do with maybe disguise your looks and stuff of that nature. But
maybe.
I don't know. I mean, thank God for Mixon for them last year. Because
hands down.
Yeah, I mean it was the
if it wasn't for Mixon, they wouldn't have been in playoffs. They wouldn't have been.
Well, they might have been in the playoffs just because of that bad division.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I give you that. All right. The Colts.
Another
one. Their quarterback room. I guess we'll start there. Anthony Richardson, and Daniel Jones competing for a starting quarterback position. I don't want neither of you. The fact that the Colts went and grabbed him like it was you got competition now, Anthony Richardson.
That's the only thing I can think. That's the only
that's what I'm saying.
thing that logically makes sense.
Because while I'm joking, that is the only thing that makes sense. That's the only thing. But when I look at it, you got Daniel Jones, who, what did we say? Decision making, turn the ball over, just
Not
doesn't
consistent.
just doesn't look the part.
Mm.
Okay, what do you say about Anthony Richardson? Decision maker,
Mm-hmm.
turn the ball over,
Mm-hmm. Doesn't look apart,
doesn't look the part.
but can move, and so can DJ.
This-
Yeah, so can
You
DJ.
literally went and got salt and pepper. The call is pun intended. Pun intended. If you put, I don't give a damn. If you put a little bit of salt on something, it tastes really good.
Mhm.
Take that top off, let that bitch pour. Ugh, it's disgusting. Put a little bit of pepper on something. Right? That's good. Take top off that bitch. Let that shit pour. What the fuck? Right? That's what they have in camp right now. That's what they got in OTAs. They have an abundance of salt and fucking pepper. They ain't got nothing to put it on. They ain't got nothing to put it on. Like, dude, both of them, like, there is not one meal that you just that is just all salt. There's not one meal where it's just all pepper. And when you look at these two quarterbacks, they're gonna need so much more around them to even look the part. We're not even talking winning ball games. Breezy,
right.
we're not talking winning ball games.
Right.
We're talking about for them to look the part. That what the same question I asked Cleveland, what compels you to get 5 quarterbacks? Same question I'm gonna ask the Colts. What compels you to go get Daniel fucking Jones when Tyrod is sitting right there?
Yeah, at least it's different. Breath of fresh air.
I give them the nod because they didn't look in the A-Rod thing. They're smarter than the Pittsburgh Steelers. I give them that.
Thank you.
But Tyrod's sitting there. Just saying. Why not call Tyrod? Dude, what in the fuck is going on with Tyrod? Like, why isn't nobody, his name's not getting brought up? And trust me, I'm sure that the Jets don't mind and Justin Fields don't mind.
Yeah.
Because I know that Tyrod is that type of person where Justin Fields, hey, bro, I got you. Let me
Right.
show you some things. And the fact that Tyrod can move the way he moves, that's a perfect setup. I'm getting off track here. But all I'm saying is this. I don't understand out of anything you could have done, Coach. Just stay with fucking Richardson. Save that money.
May as well. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't, like, Daniel Jones might keep his mouth shut a little bit better. That's it.
I don't know.
You took up-
I mean, maybe they're hoping that you're bringing them into what I would consider a weaker division than the NFC East.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe he would have possibility of, a better success. Ultimately, the bottom line, I think DJ ends up starting. I don't know. I will tell you, if he doesn't start from day one, it ain't gonna be long because Richardson just gets hurt.
If he doesn't start, this will probably be DJ's last stop. So, I think he'll start from that. I think it's one of those things. It's like, no, they're pretty much the same age.
Yeah, I'm about to say there's not.
When they
there's
came
not a
in
whole
pretty much
lot.
the same time.
Yeah,
So,
I just feel bad for Jonathan Taylor.
yeah,
He's a hell of a running back, and
Yeah.
his years are just going to.
this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And come on now, like I just said, I can look at every division. That is the weakest division.
Oh shit, him and Defoe. They got Defoe
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. Hell of a defensive lineman that probably ain't gonna get nothing because of that shit. You're right.
It's crazy because the best their offense looked last year was with Flacco.
Hands down.
And then
Hands down. And then Flacco got tired. He's like, I'm trying to go back to the grocery store. I'm tired. I already got my meal.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. I'm going to take this $1 million, go home, say, fuck my boss.
Shit, didn't hold up. Yeah, Flacco went back to Cleveland.
Yeah, Flacco went back.
I forgot.
Nigga. You can't make this shit up.
That's
went
who
back.
it was.
He went-
He went. Yeah, okay.
He's
So
like-
it might not have been Pickett. I said Pickett when we were covering.
Yeah, no, it was
Cleveland.
Flacco. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
was
think it was
Flacco. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's where he went.
Okay.
Yep. Anyway, they drafted a tight end. Hopefully he turns out to be something. I don't know who the fuck gonna throw him the ball. Well, if it's Richardson, he ain't gonna throw the ball any fucking way.
Go to the linebacker.
Oh, I thought I was a running back coach. No, nigga, no. All right, last of the NFC South, Jacksonville. AFC South, I'm sorry, Jacksonville. Where our boy Travis went. Mr. Hunter himself, Mr. Smiley himself.
I'm curious about this team as well.
I am too. I told you yesterday, and I still have that feeling. As much shit as I talk about the fucking blonde diva and the Jacksonville Jaguars as a whole, the cardiac fucking arrest cat that they are, I got a weird feeling that, I mean, that division they're in ain't really hurting them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I got a feeling they're gonna make some noise. I feel like Travis will probably be, obviously, I think he'll be better on defense than he is offense. I think that's where he'll make his mark. I think, don't get me wrong, I don't think that he'll be non-productive on offense, but I think he'll make his mark on defense because shit, I mean, when he's on offense, he can play outside. I don't think you want to put, you can put Travis inside. I don't think you want to put him outside with these type of DBs because the NFL got some aggressive ass defensive backs. It's not like college. I don't know if he's ready for that. But if you can put him,
he'd be better served putting him outside though.
Really, I think if you put him in the middle, in the inside where you can't, where he can get a clear takeoff every time.
I just worry about him getting crushed.
Well, I'm not. You ain't even got to send him across the middle every time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, I feel like if you can get him a clear, clean takeoff every time, it would bode better for him than him getting jammed at the line with some of these cornerbacks in the NFL. I'm just saying. I mean, look, Bryce. Look, for instance, I'll use an example. Isaac Yiadom. He was a cornerback that we got last year for the Saints. He actually just went back to the Saints this year. Didn't perform well at all, stats-wise. But if you put on the tape and watch the first 2 to 3 seconds of every play, when he's man coverage, press man, elite. It's why we took him from the Saints and why he's back with the Saints now. Because we saw that and thought, oh shit, if we can teach him the next 30 seconds after the snap, oh my God, he'd be elite. But it never took form. He just once, for some reason, 5 seconds, 6 seconds into the fucking play, that's it. He has no cover skills. But on the line, man press, anybody is hard pressed getting off the line if Isaac Yiadom is on your ass. Wow. And I feel like for a young person, and not just because of the talent, his frame ain't ready. Next year, after a whole season, he can go with the, with the conditioning and training, put some pounds on. Then I'll put him out. I feel more comfortable putting him out there. Right now, with his frame, man, they're gonna beat his ass up. They're gonna sit there and knock him off at every route and every timing play that he gonna be involved with outside. It's gonna be thrown the fuck off. So you put him inside. That way, let him use his natural born talent of getting open, reading the defenses, reading angles, putting leverage. You can't do that if the first time you hike the ball, first thing you gotta worry about every time is boom. These are grown ass men you're playing against now. It's the NFL, buddy.
Right.
Everybody is an all-star. It's the NFL. So I'm not saying I wouldn't put them out there. It'd be rare. It'd be a lot less than me putting them in the inside. And if they do that, they got a couple outside wide receivers already that can do some damage. At least they got a big boy. Didn't they draft one? I want to say they got one that's about 6'2", 6'3". And if you can get a quarterback's best friend is catch range. If I got a wide receiver that can catch the ball away from his body with a 43-arm wingspan, 6'2", 6'3", that can jump to 7'1", 7'2", best friend.
Right.
I know the worst case scenario, red zone, third down, possession, we need a catch. I'm going to throw him, at the very least, I'm going to give him a shot.
Right.
Because his catch range is a lot, his radius is a lot bigger than, let's say, a Tyreek Hill. He might burn a motherfucker, but if it's a contested catch, we're talking this to that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's be honest. So, I think that the Jaguars will make a little noise. I agree. I think that they're an intriguing team to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I think they will improve quite well. I do know that team does not look good at all when Blondie is not the quarterback.
No, not at all.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of his, but it's night and day when he got hurt.
Yeah.
No.
Who was it? Who was it that came in and won a couple games? Was it Andy? No, Andy was Carolina, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who was it? It was somebody like that.
Yeah, wasn't it like Beathard or something? CJ Beathard?
Was it CJ? It might have been. But I know he came in because last year was a year of backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
So, like I said, I see improvement. I think, I mean, who knows? I mean, if CJ continues to decline, I would put them next in line.
Got you.
I would put Jacksonville next in line, unless Cam Ward really, shows out for Tennessee and the defense doesn't stumble back at all.
Yeah.
They might be able to snatch something, but I really like Jacksonville.
Okay. All right. Next, we're gonna move right on down to the AFC West. KC, Kansas City Chiefs, Kansas City Mahomes, Kansas City Refs, however you want to call them. They took an offensive tackle to try to protect Holmes this year because last year he took a step back.
Yeah.
You said it yourself. You said you called it all year that, let me tell you, they just don't look the way I see what their record looked like, this, that, and the third. You was like, but they're highly beatable compared to what they've been years past.
Right.
They were still winning ball games, but we're talking about, they won like what, 9 or 10 1-point games last year?
Yeah, it was something crazy. It's not a good formula.
You ain't gonna bank on that. You can't bank on that. You ain't gonna make your living off of that, dude.
No.
You're not. So, let's just say half of those you lose this year. We're talking a whole different season for them. And then you got teams coming. You got
in that division.
Yeah. We'll talk about them as we go, but the Chargers making it. I mean, the second year of Harbaugh. The Broncos, we'll talk about their offseason. Holy shit. And the Vegas goes and get Pete and Genty and them. Like, they're coming for you. They're coming for you, KC. Andy Reid and them, they coming for you. And last year, it's already looked like y'all were taking a step back. So I expect it to look that way this year.
Yeah.
And it looked that way last year, so I don't know what we're going to get this year in that division.
I think, at least with the Chiefs, I think they'll be good. But, yeah, like you said, I think you hit it pretty well. Take like half those one-score games, take them as L's. I mean, then all of a sudden you're looking at damn near 500.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn near 500 type team.
Exactly. So, I don't know.
And like, they really didn't do anything roster-wise.
They didn't. Nothing that I can think of that stands out at all.
Which I'm not saying, especially offensively. Well, their defense is sneakingly good every year.
Because they have that faith in Spags.
Yeah. And then, I mean, offensively, obviously, they still have, Kelsey and Pacheco. And
Who, let me speak on that, too, since we're on the subject. Apparently, Kelsey done went down and dropped 25 pounds. He came back to camp 25 pounds lighter. Said that he took last year, put it on himself. So he did not show up ready to perform, and his body and his health showed it, and he vowed to be different this year and showed up at camp 25 pounds lighter.
He's trying to get Swift pregnant. Ain't she pregnant now, I believe?
I don't know. You all know what happened to Big Plum when he lost weight.
Oh,
That's neither here. I'm sorry. My humor is very dark, y'all. Y'all get it. Oh, man. Next thing, we got to move on before they kill me for that one. Chargers. Year 2. I don't be surprised if he makes Najee look like the Steelers hoped Najee would be. Do not be surprised.
Yeah, Najee did go there. Yeah, and they drafted a running back.
I know. Jim is setting his roster up.
Okay,
you know what he does.
Well, I can't say I didn't see it coming because they did let Gus walk.
Right. Yeah.
They let
yeah.
Dobbins walk.
Yeah.
So it was kind of expected, but
Right.
yeah, that's not. Yeah, you're gonna get. Yeah, I think Najee gonna have a year.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Jim is going to put his touch on Najee, and it's going to look like what the Steelers thought they was going to get from him. On top of that, I think that defense is going to look better, just because it's Jim. The Jim effect is going to come in effect this year. I'm really interested to see what Herbert does, because you liked what he did during the season. You like the fact that Jim took a lot away from him. Jim's like, you know what? We're a smash mouth team.
Right.
We're not a Justin Herbert bail us out team.
And I liked that.
I
like that.
And we saw what happened during that game against Houston when it was finally asked of him to win us a game, to do more. It did not look good.
It looked bad.
Bad. So I think Jim knows. Jim knew that anyway. Just that game turned out that way. So you go get Najee, you draft a running back, and then you're talking Jim, who's only 2 years removed from college. He knows who he's drafting. Okay, he has more of a little insight than these scouts.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So if Jim drafts a running back in the first round, there's a reason. So him and Najee, 1-2 punch, I'm sure. Smash mouth. Let's play good, sound, fundamental defense. The Chargers will be a problem next year, especially in that division. I think there's teams. I don't know exactly what their schedule. I know we looked a couple times the last week and a half or whatever, but I think that the Chargers are going to break 11 wins, 12 wins this year.
Right.
Yeah, I do.
I think, for me, the Chargers season is huge for Herbert.
Yeah.
I think those expectations that you have, you're not the only one that has those expectations.
Oh, I'm sure.
And if he does not, or if the team does not reach those, it might be Herbert's last.
I think rightfully so.
I do too. I mean, what has he done? He really hasn't done. Yeah. I mean, even when he did shoulder the majority of the load, he's a regular season quarterback. And I'm not saying he's bad. There's many other teams that would take him, like Steelers.
Of course.
But
right off the bat, Cleveland.
But I think this, and I like Herbert. I do, and I like what Harbaugh's doing with him, taking some of the load.
I didn't even catch
him.
on to it until you said it last year.
But when you are needed to shoulder more,
especially in postseason,
when
you have been pretty much pacified
the entire season,
and as much as we can say that we give him, as much as we say we can understand that this will be his last season, he's also the type of player that I shouldn't be pacified. No.
Right.
You're a franchise quarterback. You've been a franchise quarterback for 3 plus 40 years. No. Here we go. Your boy, Bo, and them damn Broncos with the San Francisco defense.
Pretty much.
Dre ended up. It wasn't as bad as they said it was.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't as bad as they said it was. He will be ready for training camp. Because meeting camp, then training camp.
Okay.
Right? So he'll be ready for training camp.
That's good.
Not as bad as he's very good.
That's good for him.
Huff is flying around. Huff's flying around, and I already knew it. That's just Huff, man. Can I honestly tell you, I probably miss Huff before I miss Dre. I honestly, seriously.
Well, when you got Fred, I get it.
You get what I'm saying? But that Palomalu clone, it's real.
Yeah.
It's fucking real, man. I'm gonna miss it. But we're not talking about my sentimental loss. We're talking about the Chargers game. Okay. Wow. Hell of an off season. You talk about making yourself better. You talk about plugging holes. They did it all.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't hurt that they was on the incline all year last year.
Right.
All year last year was just, damn. Oh shit. That tier 1, tier 2. I don't know. They should win some games. Oh shit, they might win a division. Oh shit, they should be in the playoffs. Bo keep playing like this. Who knows? They might win a playoff game or two. You know what I mean? As the year progressed, it just, and then you have an off season like this. Sean is in his bag.
Oh yeah, Sean's loving it.
Sean is in his bag, and if we have any recollection of what New Orleans looked before they got Sean, and then what New Orleans looked year 2, 3 when they went and got Drew, I feel like he has a blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a blueprint that he is following, and I'm excited as hell. I've never been so excited about another team other than the Commanders last year.
Right.
That's how I feel about the Broncos this year. They're going to win that division.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We
They're
called
gonna-
it. We called it.
Right here, right now.
We called it.
They're going to win that division. You called it towards the end of last year. Shit.
Well, yeah, because I just kept saying it.
Not for them to win last year.
Gonna,
Not for them to win last year, but you was like, shit, next year, shit, they're going to be a fucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that before they made these moves.
Now, do you think? I don't want to ramble off too much, but my personal opinion, I think Kansas City ends up third.
When you look at that division, you're talking, we just said what we think Jim in San Diego is going to do, or the Chargers going to do. We're talking about them now. We're going to touch on the Raiders in a second here, and why not? Why not fourth?
That would be.
We're going to touch on the Raiders here in a second.
Oh,
why not fourth? Like, dude,
they could.
it's a realistic possibility that we're talking about a team that was in the. Did they get an NFC Championship last year?
Who?
The Chiefs.
They got to the Super Bowl last year.
That's what I thought. The Super Bowl. We're
lost
talking
to
about a
the-
team
they
that
lost
lost
to
Super Bowl last year to end up being fourth in their division.
Whew. Whew. It's possible. That is. I'm gonna say at least third.
And let me go back because I said something. I said about something by mistake. I said that the Bills was in the Super Bowl last year. I said that earlier in the show. I said that the Bills made it to the Super Bowl. No, I think they made it to the NFC Championship.
Yeah, they made it to
Yeah,
the AFC
and then
Championship.
that's what then the Chiefs. Yes, that's what it
yeah.
was. So I just want to correct that while it's on my mind. But yeah, you're possibly talking about a team that was in the Super Bowl last year that might be fourth in their division. And the reason why,
Everybody
these Broncos, yeah, everyone approved.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone across the board. Like there is not
like
one drastically. So when you talk about these Broncos who, like you said, all last year, you saw what Bo was doing. You saw what that offense was doing. They had a legit run game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their defense was ridiculous. It just ran out of gas because they didn't have a run game, because Bo was a rookie, because there were still little pieces like a premier middle linebacker. You go get Dre. Like a premier lockdown, somebody that can make sure your secondary is. Or hold on, no, they got somebody there. You got a running partner now. You send Huff. I can't remember his name. Patrick Surtain.
Oh yeah.
Patrick Surtain. You got Patrick Surtain there now. You got Huff to watch his back. Yeah, man, I'm excited. They're my Commanders from last year.
I'll go with that.
They're my team that no matter what time or who they're playing, I'm watching that game. And KC is in trouble before the next team we're about to speak of, Las Vegas. The team that I was high on at the beginning of last year,
Mm-hmm.
they're warranted the way I felt last year this year.
Right. Yeah, because you were talking about.
I just knew it. I
Yeah.
just knew, Breezy. I just knew that because they was on the fence. I looked at the statistics. I looked at their records. I look at how the games played out the year before last, and it's just like they was just there. Every time it just fall off. Every time. And I just knew that this would be that year. But then motherfucker couldn't pick a fucking quarterback. And
That set the whole thing off.
the rest is history. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And the rest is
set
history.
whole thing
And the
off.
rest is history. I feel like this year, I don't think Pete's going to have that problem.
No.
I don't think Pete's going to have that problem. And then we got...
Well, you got the boy Gino.
Right, exactly. That's his boy. And then we got Jason in the back. Mike Myers in the back, I mean.
Yep.
Max is still there.
Mm-hmm.
They did everything they could, and
I was about to say he's probably in good spirits now.
Yeah. It's a lot. The projection looks a lot different than it looked last year. Vegas will make some noise. Will they make the playoffs? No. Will they play spoilers towards the end of the season, acting like they got a chance to make the playoffs? Yes. Like, will they be, like, let's say it's week 14, 15, they're 3 games behind to make the playoffs? Yes. I see them being in that position. Ultimately not making it, but ultimately every game and every team that play against them is going to be that type of game.
So, you don't think this division this season can be like the NFC North last season?
Ooh.
Because if they had they had 3 playoff teams last season.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it can. Yes.
You just think Vegas will be the odd one out.
Yes, I think so. I mean, you look at it, it's almost set up the same way. You got Kansas City, who would be, I mean, I'm not saying what I think they will do, because remember, when Detroit last year, we knew Detroit was contenders. We knew they were going to do what they do. All right? We don't feel the same way about Kansas City, but they're the team that to beat from last year, who's a good, talented team, which what Detroit was, a good, talented team. And then you got your Vikings. Okay? That's Denver. You know, that team that can beat anybody. That's your Vikings. And you talking the Chargers, Green Bay.
Right.
You're not sure. They can be great. Not sure. There's all the signs point to it. All the signs point to Green Bay being good. You love balled the hell out towards the end of last year. You still got Matt LaFleur back there. It looked good. I mean, they went and got who they running back? Jacob? No.
Jacob.
Jacobs. They a good running back, and so it looks good. Look at the Chargers. You got Jim. You got Herbert. It's almost identical.
Yeah.
That's a great example, dude. It's a great comparison. It's almost identical. So yes, I do. I agree. I think that is the NFC North of this year. Yeah, I do.
You think Vegas can at least hit 500?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah. I think they'd be a few games better than 500. Like I said, I think what happened is towards 14, 15, week 14 and 15, they'll be probably just a hair out the playoffs.
Right. Okay.
Playing spoiler. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's the AFC, man. And we're gonna move on to the NFC. Philly, straight off the bat, drafted a linebacker. Their defense was ranked one last year, right? They drafted a linebacker. We already talked about it. I don't think Saquon is gonna be as elite. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be a bum by any standards, but I think that teams play like they did towards the end of the season, more predominantly stop the run. Now, will that help AJ and Hurts? And of course it will. Of course it will. So that division is really going to be. I think the funny thing is that division is going to be based off New York. Not that New York is going to win that division or compete to win that division. What I'm saying is New York is going to steal some games from one of them teams. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
True. Yeah.
Yeah. They're gonna steal a game or two from one of them teams, and it's gonna hurt like hell in December. Mm-hmm. That's my conclusion. I know we're talking team for team, but I'm gonna throw a blanket statement over the NFC East. Period. I think New York is going to make and break that division. Not win it. No, I just want to make that clear. It's not what I'm saying, but I do believe that they will beat either Philly or Washington once or twice. Yeah, I said it. Which would make a sweep. I hear you. and just discombobulate them to that race. I really think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be Philly. That's why I'm bringing it up now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be Philly. I think that that defense for the Giants is going to disrupt Hurts to enough where we've seen it. We've seen Hurts. It kind of looks like he checks out. I know he never shows any emotion, but it gets to a point where not that he checks out. Let me reason. I said that wrong. Like he'll overthink it.
Right.
He's back there running around with the ball 10 seconds into the play because he needs a big shot. He can't dink and dunk and chip at a lead. He needs to beat it. And I feel like the Giants will put them in that predicament enough where they still 1 or 2 away from them.
Yeah, I see Philly declining. Not drastic.
No.
I mean, they'll be in the division hunt the whole time. I think it's going to beat them in Washington.
Right.
I feel the same way. I mean, I think the Giants drafted very well. I think that their defense was, we touched on a lot last season. As far as their trench game, offense and defense was very good. So I think it's one of those, as cliche as it may sound, I think it's really going to come down to straight division games and then head-to-head between Philly and Washington.
Yeah.
To see, because I think as far as that division goes, really the only team that, in my opinion, made any big moves are the Giants. Like, I don't think Philly really did much of anything.
No.
And Washington, yes, I know they got Debo. But minus that, they really didn't do anything drastic. Yeah, which they really didn't need to.
Right.
I mean, other than maybe defensive standpoint. I know their defense was it was definitely shaky, but their offense was just on fire last year. So, like I say, I think Saquon declines just a little bit. I'm saying more like a 1,500 rushing yards from him. Not all purpose, but just rushing. And just, once again, I'll say it like I did last year. I hope he stays healthy. I don't want him to. I don't like seeing anybody get hurt.
Right.
And I know his injury history. As long as he stays healthy, obviously he's proven just how dangerous he can be. Can be. So
and you see they don't mind feeding him at all.
No, they'll run him 25, 30 times a game.
Yeah. Next team, man. The team that made our show last year.
Yeah.
Gave us all the type of football cred we needed, honestly. I mean, Washington, we called it. I mean, the only thing we failed on is them winning the division, but 1 or 2 games away from it.
Yeah.
And considering what everyone else was saying,
they might go at 5.
we got a little cushion. We got a little cushion for getting that wrong. Because they got the whole fucking season wrong, including the player himself and Jaden Daniels. The Debo acquisition, man, is going to do them wonders because the dog and Debo just feeds that young squad even more. Cliff has another Swiss Army knife that he can do whatever with. Debo did it all. Debo threw a ball. Debo ran the ball with us. Debo returning kicks. Debo returning punts. He did it all for us. You're about to get that in Washington, and Cliff is going. Cliff is somewhere excited as hell watching film right now. I think that's great. I love the fact that they drafted an offensive tackle to solidify Jaden's protection. Further letting him know you are the future. I don't think he needs any more reassurance, but do the right thing. I understand it's not a sexy pick and all that, but do the right thing. Get your quarterback protected because he is going to be great for as long as you protect him.
Right.
You already see it. The natural talent, the work ethic, the camaraderie with his teammates, the leadership is natural. Protect him. And the sky's the limit. You know what I mean? So Hey, I see them doing what they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put them back out there. I think they're going to win the division again. I'm putting it out there again. I'm more confident than I was last year, but I think you're going to touch on this too, and I'm going to let you do it. But I do believe that there'll be a lot of pressure on Jaden this year.
It will. It will. I mean, just looking at the schedule, like I said, I mean, there's 8 standalone games with this team. Not even considering the fact that they're doing the Hard Knocks show. They're taping that with the Commanders. Of course, he's back under a microscope again because everybody saw what he just did. So now it's going to be that sophomore slump.
Yeah.
Is that going to happen?
Especially what CJ just showed us.
Exactly. So he still has a lot to prove. I mean, to keep everybody
at bay.
Because one slip up, that's all it's going to take.
Oh, you know it.
One.
You know it.
You'd be like, yeah, I told you they got tape on him now, and I don't want to hear it.
The Bears made the right decision.
Right.
Yeah, you're like, oh, God.
It'll fire back up.
I'm telling you, if I hear that right now, I'm sending hate mail out. I'm telling you. I'm letting you know right now.
But ultimately, from a team perspective, much of the same. I would give them possibly an additional win or two.
Okay.
Because there were a couple games, a couple, close ones I could see going their way. As far as end result of the season, I mean, come on now. It's, what we gonna say, Super Bowl bust? I ain't ready to put them under that.
No, I'm not. I'm not either.
Now, I mean, it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm not putting that on them yet.
Me neither.
Just handle your business, stay healthy, keep the critics at bay, get another division or win the division, and that'd be something nice under your belt.
Right.
Just keep winning in the playoffs.
Right. Well, okay.
See what happens.
Next team, Dallas Cowboys, man. It's the first thing I think of is Dak immediately off the break. I can't say Dallas. I ain't even talking about the goddamn Cowboys. I can be talking about anything. Dallas Clark. And I think goddamn Dak Prescott. Dak gotta go. I'm sorry, man. Just everything that the mental aspect of what he does in the locker room, they speak about it. I don't know, but from what I hear is he's a leader of men in the locker room. Team meetings, that type of Dak is elite, second to none. But when you get on the field, man, it's just he doesn't have arm talent. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he can move in the pocket, and we've seen him have great games. But what I mean by arm talent, he don't have like the fucking. You'll see Bo, you'll see Brock, side arm a pass. Shit, don't even get me talking about Patty. Patty left arm and no look. You know what I mean? Like they don't need a perfect pocket and a perfect base every time to deliver an accurate ball, like Dak does. Dak needs the pocket to be clean. Dak needs the wide receiver not to be getting open to be open. And in the NFL, especially getting paid what you're getting paid, unacceptable. I mean, if that's what Mason Rudolph does all year for the Steelers.
Right. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? $60 million? No.
Well, I mean, and then on top of that, the injuries are starting to add up.
Yeah.
The injuries are adding up for him.
I don't think he's finished the season.
It's been
3 at least.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. And which I've said it before, I feel like Dallas are the current old Commanders. They will not be anything until Jerry Jones is gone.
Yeah. I agree.
Because, I mean, I hate to bring it up again, but it's no coincidence when Daniel Snyder sold the Commanders. Look what it did very first year. Yep. It is no coincidence. And that's how I feel about, because Dak can do whatever he wants. He can perform however he wants.
Yeah.
And he's not going anywhere.
No, not long.
He's not going anywhere.
As long as Jerry's there.
But if you take CD off that team, Dak, healthy or not, is mediocre at best.
I mean,
At
dude.
best.
And this is what I'm saying.
Right. That's why I made that statement.
Yeah,
based
there's
on what
not
you just
there's
said.
not
Yeah.
a situation where I'm confident that Dak is going to win me a ball game.
Right.
Seriously, I don't think like if it's fourth quarter we need a drive. No, if we're in the red zone and all we need is a touchdown. No, like no. I don't care if we're winning. We just need to protect the ball. No, I just don't. If he wasn't getting paid the money he was getting paid, he would get more leniency from me. But you don't get off sport. We talk about the Anthony Edwards situation.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't talk the way he talked and portrayed himself the way that he does, him disappearing in the playoff game wouldn't have got frowned upon as much as it has.
You're right.
But because of the position that he puts himself in, Dak, we just said you haven't finished the season in 3 years. Every year you've asked for more money and has gotten it. Unacceptable. Robin Dallas blind, him and Jerry.
Yeah.
Robin
Yeah.
Dallas blind, and all these young fans and these older fans that's been watching the Cowboys play for years that's trying to see one more before they go. Good luck. Good luck. Your grandbabies might see one.
Maybe. Maybe.
Oh man. Next team. Oh, the Bright Spot Giants. Okay, I say that because we already touched on it, man. Look at their trenches last year, and then you go and you add Abdul. And this is why I'm saying the Philadelphia Eagles don't have that good of an offensive line. That offensive line ain't that good.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see a recipe for disaster.
Mm-hmm.
I see a recipe for disaster right then and there. So I'm looking for the Giants, man, to come out here. You got Russ. You draft a quarterback. You get Abdul Carter. Your trenches look the way it look. Nabber's got 1 year, just off season to work with Russ to get, Russ will lock onto you.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You want targets.
You.
Russ will lock onto you.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get the targets, and if you are what we saw you were last year, it should lead to production. You know what I mean? If your defense takes another step, which I believe it will, yeah, you ain't got to win a division. I hear you, but get above 500.
Right. Which ultimately, I have them. I have them finishing third.
Okay.
I have them ahead of Dallas.
Okay. I do too. I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I have them ahead, and obviously it's not like a landslide, but I see them about. Right about 500.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
would even take like an 8 and 9.
I don't see Dallas hitting 500 this year.
Nah, I don't either.
I think that division I think the Giants just made that point. Like I said, I think the Giants really dictate that whole division.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're moving up, because of the additions and the step forward that we're saying, yeah, that's Dallas. They're taking Dallas' spot. Next team, Detroit. This is a tricky one for me. Okay? This is a tricky one for me because I know how good they can be, but you told me with that center being gone, and I saw something today, man. Today I just saw that Ragnar was voted the best communicating center in the NFL last year. Woo! And I'm not talking about from coaches. This is from his peers. Whoo! Like we said, I know I'm going to do it again. I'm going to jump off to football, the basketball reference. We always talk about our Warriors. How Curry got 1, 2, 3 other coaches on the court at all times.
Mm-hmm.
That's who Ragnar was. So not only do you have to replace the talent that he gave you, but also the communication. And when you communicate like that, dude, your teammates trust your communication. They look at you. They look towards you for the. Okay. Before I get down, let me see what. Okay. All right.
And you got to think too, they lost their offensive coordinator on top of that.
Right. Right. So we're
This is
talking
all
about
new.
and correct me if I'm wrong. That defense looked very suspect last year.
Oh yeah, and then now, the latter point of the year
They
were
improved.
they were decimated with injuries. Yeah, they had like 11, 12 guys
shit.
on fucking IR.
Oh shit.
They
damn.
were and not saying the beginning of the year they were a whole lot better, but they were better.
Damn.
But
didn't know that
either
many.
way, you're looking at a defense that was still giving up at least 20,
Mm-hmm.
24
Exactly.
a game.
Right. Right. And now.
Now they squeaked by because their offense is so prolific. I mean,
Mhm. But you lose Johnson, who, I mean, come on, we saw it. We saw the plays they was running. They was running reverses in the middle of the field after the pass. Very creative, dude. Like, come on, there was some plays that they had fucking linemen running wide the fuck open.
So do you see? Do you think it hurts them enough to take them out of winning the division?
If Minnesota if Minnesota still had Sammy,
I know.
yes,
I know.
I'm so serious. And I'm not trying to shit on Green Bay. Who gives a
Well,
fuck
I mean,
about
honestly, I'm not
Chicago?
trying to shit on JJ either. I mean,
I'm
he's
not
been
right.
balling out.
Yeah. Because remember, we said it. We said he you got to look the part in order to get the part.
Mhm.
So I give you that. OTAs is what OTAs are.
Yeah.
But it's still happening.
Right.
Like we said, I'd rather that stat than the opposite. So if Minnesota didn't lose Sammy, yes. I don't think so. I don't think it hurts them. I don't think they lose the division. I think that they're gonna scratch and earn every fucking division win.
I'm about to say this is going to be a lot like Cincinnati last year,
Yes, they're gonna have to scratch.
and it's going to be tough because of Ragnar and the turnover with the the offensive
They're gonna
coordinator
have
and all
to
that.
put up
But they're
points.
still going to have to put up.
Yes. I
Yeah.
agree. And then you got, well, like we said, we'll see what JJ does look like. We'll see, but we know what Green Bay's gonna do,
Mhm.
especially at the beginning of the year, when they're for some reason not as good. Green Bay loves playing in cold weather. For some reason, Packers love cold weather. But if Love, here we go again.
Well, offensively too, they were very young. I didn't know they were that
Yeah,
young. They were
the
a
youngest,
very young
the youngest
squad.
team in the NFL.
Yeah,
they are.
So
they are.
another year under them. I think if anybody else takes the division, I would, by default, I would probably say Green Bay because I don't know what I'm going to get with JJ.
Yeah.
I mean, he could come out start of the year and we talking about him like we talking about Bo.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you never know.
And the pieces are there. You have surrounding cast, so I hear you. I don't know. We'll see. And that's gonna lead us right to Minnesota. Excuse me. Right to Minnesota. We don't know. Like, if JJ come out like he's been playing OTAs, great move.
Yeah.
Great move.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, did the coach get hot seat?
What if they don't perform like they did last year?
Well, obviously, because you can't blame JJ. Obviously.
Yeah, you can't blame JJ. I guess ultimately whoever made the decision
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
let Sammy go,
Yeah.
which I mean I'd have a hard time putting that on anybody really, because I mean that decision had to be made.
I agree. I mean, you got your quarterback for the future. Yeah.
You drafted him first round with the assumption that he was going to be your starter immediately, and then he goes down in training or the first preseason game, done for the year.
Right.
So you don't want to scrap the whole season. Kudos.
Right.
So you get Sammy, or they might have already had Sammy. Maybe he was going to be the backup. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And then Sammy just balled out.
Yeah.
I mean, my biggest reservation about them this year is protection
Right.
for JJ. Because Sammy had a hell of a year, but he got hit a lot.
Yeah.
And I know JJ younger, but he just had a major injury. That's going to be in his head.
Yeah.
And he started taking good amount of hits. You're going to see that pocket pressing start. Yeah.
Yep, start
and it's just a recipe.
That can be a problem.
That's another reason why I say I felt like if anybody was going to dethrone Detroit, it would be Green Bay. Just because Love's been in the league a while.
Well, you still got Aaron Jones there. Obviously, you still got JJ. So it's one of those things. It's like we just got to see what McCarthy comes out with, looking like.
I would like to see their defense be more consistent too.
Me too. It's funny because Minnesota always what's his name? Oh God, what's his name? I forgot the head coach name. He always puts a decent defense out there. It always ends up being like, top 12 defense, and it's been that way for about 2-3 years now. It's just they can't. Remember last year when we had the podcast, I always talked about the Rams, how they always have this defense that at some point is like elite, and then out of nowhere they're not. Exact same thing happened last year with the Rams. Started off horrible, and then towards the end of the season, one of the best defenses in the NFL. Same thing with Minnesota. I just feel like if they can find a way to get from that 12th, 11, 10 down to 5, 4, 3, they'll be a fucking a force to be reckoned with. Seriously, and that would take a lot off of JJ.
Right.
So I don't know. And you know how it is playing with a rookie. I mean, I know it's not technically a rookie, but technically he's a rookie. It's his first full year is going to be. So you know how defenses are playing with rookies, man. Is they feel like they have to do more also. So we'll see. I think it can be good. Next team, Green Bay, went out and drafted a wide receiver. Gave Love another weapon. They just need to get consistent, man. I mean, no bigger evidence situation of their inconsistency was that game against Minnesota last year. You go down 35-0 before half, that game ended up being like 35-28 or some shit.
Yeah.
Or 42-35, something crazy like.
Yeah, one score.
One score game. Turned out to be a one score game, and it's like, okay, and why now? What happened first, second quarter? Why couldn't you do that then? The inconsistency that a Matt LaFleur team keeps putting in and year out, it's to a point where I already raved about Matt LaFleur, but yeah, you also got to take a look at him, man. You're like, well, why does this keep happening? We can say all we want about Love. We can, and we know, it doesn't matter because once they get on the field, it's what they da-da-da-da-da. But we know how the NFL is. Shit rolls, it starts here and rolls down the hill. So if the general manager is safe and all that, it moves down to the coach. I feel like, well, no, Love is now what, fourth year? This be a fourth year?
I think so.
Okay, so now Love is in that spot now. He's in that spot now where he can be fully blamed now. Never mind. That kind of takes away my whole point.
I wasn't gonna blame Love, but I was gonna say, I mean, he's just as inconsistent.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't blame it on like we just said, the youngest overall, average age in the NFL. I really can't blame it on that. I mean, I saw it at times last season, but they've been inconsistent for several seasons.
Yeah, they have.
Not just last season.
Yep.
And it's frustrating. I mean, if you're a Green Bay fan, you've got to be frustrated because you're there.
Yeah.
You're right there. And something is stopping it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And
exactly
it's weird
what it
because it's the opposite of what you usually get. It's usually like, the team is such and such and such, but as the year goes on, injuries, film, team sort of drops off. We don't. It's the opposite with Green Bay. They start off slow. Come November football,
when it gets cold,
they're perennial. I know.
Yeah.
It gets cold and these motherfuckers turn into polar bears. Just I don't just running through the league. I don't understand it. It's the most puzzling thing ever, man. Puzzling. Like we said, I get the Dolphins. It's stupid and it's unacceptable, but I get it. Everybody wants to play in nice weather.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I get that, but I don't look Green Bay. I don't get Green Bay at all. Next team, Chicago, who Caleb fared better than I thought he would last year, and it wasn't really Caleb that we was mad at. It was the social media that was placing all these expectations on Caleb. Caleb did pretty much what I thought he would do. Actually, did a little better than I thought he would do. Another year behind your offensive coordinator. That Bears defense needs to be better. They have moments. And I feel like I'm saying that a lot. It's a lot of inconsistent defense. And you said that last year about the NFL in general. There's no elite defenses that scare you. And I feel like as I'm going through this right now, I'm saying that a lot. Like they can be good, or they're good sometimes, and I feel like that's happening a lot. And the Bears the same thing. When the Bears defense are good, they're stopping the run. They're not blitzing so much as in just containing the pass. Mm-hmm. They're not putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but they can get to the quarterback.
Yeah. I think they forced a lot of turnovers last year.
Yeah, they was very opportunistic. Very opportunistic. Yeah. Exactly. I think that's what it was. And it's just like, but at the same time, if they weren't being opportunistic, they were being scored on.
Right.
So it's one of those things. It's just, I don't know if that defense is going to hold up enough to where Caleb and that offense is at now. You got another year with all that damn talent in that receiving core.
Well, I think they're going to improve. They did a lot of work offensive line wise.
Okay.
They did, whether it was free agency or whatever it was, they did a lot. So I give them still. I mean, you're not going to be relevant in that division for a while.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
I agree.
It's going to take a lot. I'd say maybe by year 4 of Caleb, maybe at that point.
Okay.
You could legitimately talk about them winning the division. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
I mean, I've already seen people talking about, Bears are going to win it this year because it's the second year with Caleb. I have nothing against Caleb. I'm with you on that. I don't. It was everybody putting that hype on him.
Yeah.
When I thought there was somebody else that should have got that hype.
Yep.
And I don't know. Like I said, I think they'll improve. They'll get another maybe 2 wins. Okay. Maybe 2 more than what they got last year. Maybe 3. But defensively, there's a lot of question marks.
Yeah, a lot.
Because you can't, turning the ball over is great. And they did that a lot, as far as forcing them. But then you had the offensive line that couldn't protect Caleb. He's running around making rookie mistakes where he's just trying to make plays and they just weren't there.
Yeah.
He can make them in college. You can't really do that in the NFL.
But the speed is different. Yes. That's the NFC North. NFC South. It should be an interesting one. You got the Bucks. Go out there and get wide receiver Ibuka. And I told you my love with Baker. Mike is still there. He did not, he's coming back. He ain't retired. It's that defense. That Bucks defense is just non-existent. Period. I know I speak about defense a lot because I'm a defensive-minded guy. I don't mind a 3-0 win at all. But they need to do something about that defense because Baker is trying. Baker is on the cusp of something great. We saw it all last year with those 2-point games against elite teams that he could have pulled out that he had with pieces missing. With injuries, he was making games like that happen without Mike Evans, without a Chris Godwin, offensive linemen are out, or like they had injury problems, and he was still pulling these great games together, but losing by the skin of the teeth. You get a defense that's top 15, because I think they're horrible. But you get a defense top 15 with the Bucks and let Baker play the way he played last year. Yeah, they'd have won at least a playoff game. I think so. I'm not saying that they would have made a playoff run, but they'd have won a playoff game. Because Baker was on one last year for a good period of the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of the same, but thankfully they're in
Yeah, I know.
they're in a very poor division that has no defense anyway, so they'll get away with it. But where it shows its ugly head is playoffs.
Yep.
Because you're not going against division foes. You're
Now
going
you're playing
against
exactly.
yeah, you're going against upper echelon teams,
Mm-hmm.
and then your defense gets exposed.
Yep. And that's what happened, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I
What
mean,
happened?
because they ultimately lost to Commanders,
Mhm.
which didn't have a great defense anyway.
Right.
But Baker was forced to try to do it all on his own.
Yep. Exactly. And I just hope that defense gives them a little bit more cushion to
Yeah, because other than that, offensively they're fine.
I know.
Yeah, I mean they're fine offensively, and I'm talking, to hell with the division. I mean they're fine offensively to win their division,
Mhm.
but if they have a defense, yeah, they could.
They can venture out and win some ball games.
Yeah.
Exactly. Next team, Atlanta. Boyd Penix and sit at home, fucking Kirk Cousins.
Kirk, yeah.
It's just like this. It's like this. It's that simple for Atlanta. Go ahead, move Kirk. Get what you can get for him. Because another year with him on the bench, you ain't gonna get shit for him. You're not gonna get nothing.
I don't think anybody's gonna.
I know.
I don't think anybody's gonna get him anyway.
The only shot was Pittsburgh,
Yeah,
and A-Rod fucked that up.
yeah.
And Pittsburgh dropped the ball on that altogether because that would have been the first day. I would have immediately went and either got Kirk or I would have got fucking Tyrod.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. The Colts, same thing.
Yeah.
The Colts, same thing. I don't know what happened, but Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan, they have what if Penix can look like he looked with the small sample size we got last year, where he was throwing that ball down the field. That's the big difference that he made from Kirk. Obviously because he can move, but the ball was going down the field.
Right.
And in the NFL, the ball needs to go down the field. You're not gonna win much games dinking and dunking the whole time.
Well, I felt like you could see it from the draft too, because they drafted the majority of their draft picks were defensive players, so
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
happy with their offense.
I agree.
Which
Yeah.
they should be. I mean,
Yeah.
they have a stack. I mean, you just went down the names. I mean, they have a stacked offense.
Yeah.
Assuming Penix can play to what I feel he's capable of, but that defense again, right, we're on the defensive train right now. I mean,
Yep.
there's not an elite. There's two teams I can think of, and I'm not trying to backtrack, but there's two teams I can think of. I think will have elite defenses this year, and that's probably Baltimore and Denver.
I agree.
But other than that, I think it's all up in the air.
Yeah.
So if they can get more, same with the Bucs. Same thing we said about the Bucs, you can say about the Falcons. If
Yeah,
they can
I
get a
agree.
little more
Yes,
defensively,
yes.
and
Yes.
Penix play to his potential, then they're obviously in the running for that division.
Yep. They can get some wins outside that division and they Gucci.
Mhm.
It's that simple. Yep. Carolina, intriguing young team, young quarterback. I feel like they did what we thought they should do last year in this draft. We said that because the way that Bryce finished it, that you need to show some faith in him. And what you do, you go out there and you get him one of the best wide receivers in the draft.
Yep.
I love it. I think that Bryce comes out and let me put my foot in my mouth. I think Bryce comes out and performs the way he ended the season last year. I don't think that was a coincidence. I don't think it was a fluke. I think something clicked finally.
Yeah. I mean, what it was,
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. I'm watching your spot being taken by an old man that should be out the league. That probably can do it if you got any type of pride. You know what I mean? But I don't know what clicked. Something clicked last year towards the end when he came back in. I think because it was consistent for the rest of the year. If it was a 1 week or 2 weeks last year, I wouldn't be saying this. But because from week, what was it, 10, 11? Something like that? Beyond?
From about that point on, yeah.
To beyond, it was just great game, great performance, great product, great performance, great performance. It wasn't even winning every game, and like we said, we don't need you to. We want to see the progress.
Right.
And I saw it. I saw it. So I'll take Carolina, man. I'll take them coming out and making some noise next year. I'll tell you what, Atlanta and Tampa Bay better.
And once again, it's a great division. It's a great division for him.
Yes.
I mean, because we're not talking, all right, we need you to get, 12, 13 wins, and we could possibly get the division. No, we're talking about, you get us like 9?
Right.
We'll be right. I guarantee you we'll be right in the thick of it.
And neither one of these teams got no type of secondary.
No.
I'm not just talking about their defense. I'm talking about secondary in general.
Right.
None.
Right.
I'm looking at the list and none of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Next team, New Orleans.
For real.
It's the same shit.
They have no quarterback, for real.
I know. They literally don't.
None.
They don't.
None. I think there's open tryouts next week.
And they try to offensive tackle. They draft the offensive tackle for what? To protect nobody.
For the official that stands back behind the quarterback.
That's like a motherfucker with no job filing their taxes. What are you filing for? You ain't got shit.
No, this team. You talk about being pissed. If you're Kamara.
Oh my God! You convinced me to stay for this shit? I didn't even think about that, Breezy. That's fucked up. Yeah, he is kicking himself.
Oh my God! Because he had a foot out the door.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I didn't even think about that, Breezy. That's fucked up.
Oh, it's gonna be bad for
I agree.
Saints. Yeah, Saint fans.
Get the bags out. You've had them before.
Yeah.
You've had them before. Get them out. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if you get just 2 or 3 wins, it's wow.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, unless you have some diamond in the rough that because they drafted some quarterback.
They did.
I don't.
They did.
Slaw. I don't know. Something weird.
Draft a nigga named Slaw.
I think he's like 35 out of college or some shit.
He does everything slow. That's why his name's Slow, nigga. You can't make this shit up. Oh my God. We got a resurgence of Tim Tebow out here, though. Oh God.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about with them.
Jesus Christ.
I'm
That's
sorry.
the NFC South. Yeah, I agree. NFC West, intriguing division, man. We're gonna start off with the Rams that won the division last year. They did nothing but improve. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta play them up twice. They're scary.
Because they got Devontae, right?
Yeah, man. And they're trying to get They're trying to get Jalen Ramsey. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was there already, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's been there.
Oh,
trying to get him
okay.
there.
They're trying to get him
That's
back.
where he left. Yeah, you're right. You're damn right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there before.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're trying to get him.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And that defense, as we said, as the year got on, that defense got better.
For sure.
You had a Jalen Ramsey
For
to it.
sure. I mean, case in point, when you in the playoff game playing at the Link and the Blizzard,
Mm-hmm.
knowing all
They was right there.
literally both teams, they will run the ball.
And didn't they play? Hold on. Didn't they play Minnesota last year too? They did. And I think they sacked Sammy 9 fucking times.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I remember they sacked Sammy 9 times, nigga.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. All I'm saying is this, man. They're scary. Puka's there. You want to be Puka. They retained Matt, which was a huge thing.
Yeah.
They kept Matt and Sean together. We already know my boy Williams going to do Williams things.
Yeah, he's like the SGA of running back.
Yes, exactly. Like he just ends up doing his damn thing. You can barely see him get the ball, but it's 100 yards, 2 TDs.
Yep.
150 a TD every time. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's a mini CMC.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're scary good. They're scary good. They didn't lose anything. They only got better. We'll see. Sky's
I'm
the
about to
limit.
say that there really won't be no regression that I see. At least the same, if not a game or 2 better.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
what I think will happen.
Yep. I think better because I think they catch on. That defense catches on now than it did last year. Next team, Seattle. Poor Sammy. At least you got the bag, buddy. Because I think
Well, on the plus side, he used to getting hit.
that's true.
So, and he performed pretty well.
That's true. Bring your Jets uniform. Go look at that dirty motherfucker to remind you how much you're going to hit the ground. But they go get a guard to try to help protect him. You still, you got rid of DK, which I think, okay, I get it. just too much of a cancer when you got Nick Jibba emerging.
Yeah.
DK ain't gonna have it. He ain't gonna have it. He's a diva. He wasn't gonna have it. You gotta let this boy blossom.
They did sign a Coop.
Exactly.
They got Cup.
Yep.
That was. I think that will play big for them.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge, because that will also help blossom in JB. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Because one thing that Coop knows how to do is get the fuck open.
Oh yeah.
He may not be your fastest. He may not be your strongest, but getting open, no one. Coop was second to no one.
Yeah. They both played the position the same way.
I agree. Same style. Yeah. I agree. So
and if nothing else, it now at least gets attention elsewhere. Because before, once DK left and then they let Lockett.
I don't know. Right, I forgot about that one.
We were
I
forgot about that one. But yeah, he's great, but the whole defense
when the attention is on you, we've seen it happen to several players.
And I mean, they have a great running back tandem.
They do. And maybe this year we'll get, more of a good usage of them, because you said it last year, all of last year. Why the hell won't they 1-2 punch them? Because you would get games where Kenneth Walker would get 15, 20 carries, and then Charbonnet would get 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Or it'd be the opposite when Kenneth Walker went down, or he was at least hobbled. Charbonnet was getting, 10 or 11, and then Kenneth Walker get 3 or 4. It's like,
I'd say I would at least split it damn near 50-50.
Yeah, I agree.
Whether it's, based on the game plan or whatever your opponent is.
Situationally,
whether it's 10-10, 15. I mean, even I'm cool even if you did like a 15-10, 15-12, something along those lines. They both deserve it. They both have unique running styles. They're great. You got the Walker's more elusive. Charbonnet's more the power. But ultimately, like we said with Minnesota last year, it's gonna depend on Sammy. Sammy gonna get hit, but Seattle knows that. That's why they brought him in there. I mean, obviously they let Geno go. I think it was time. It's tough to let him go because statistically, Geno was. I mean, come on. I mean, Geno was balling. He was balling.
By all standards,
but where was he taking you? It was the same situation, like a Herbert scenario. I'm gonna ball out, but then we get to the big dance and then just crumble. So I guess maybe it was just time for a change. Pretty sure it was a mutual thing.
I agree.
But we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of unknown. I'm not gonna predict anything for them at this point. I just want to see how it pans out, or how it starts off at least. Yeah,
because we'll know immediately. We'll know soon. We'll know sooner than later is what I'm saying. Next team, Arizona Cardinals. Kyler. Who are we going to get? And like we said, this may be the last time that we can pose that question.
Should be
the last time we pose that question. Because Arizona goes where Kyler please lets them go. If Kyler comes out, and I feel like we repeat ourselves so much. If Kyler comes out, he's aggressive. I don't want to play Arizona.
Well, and that's why they draft the way that they do. Like last draft, or not the one that just passed, one before, they got Marvin Harrison. Who's that benefit? Kyler. Year before that, who'd they get? Trey McBride, which is a premier tight end / wide receiver, whichever you want to use him as. They still have good old, Connor in the backfield. Good God, man. I mean, he's something.
I think he's underrated.
I
think he's underrated. I agree.
So, I mean, they have essentially stacked this offense for you. I mean, at one point, they brought, he's gone now, but they brought Hollywood Brown there at one point.
D-Hop at one point.
D-Hop at one point. I mean, you have had ample opportunities. And your defense, I get it. They're a little shaky, especially on the road.
But we know when they had that when Budda Baker and them boys was at their premiere.
Oh yeah,
I think it was year before last.
Oh yeah.
That defense was good. There was no excuse.
And then you've seen it last year. You got an aggressive Kyler. For God's sakes, you went to the link and beat the Eagles.
Yes. and did it. Remember, when they did, we was like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe he will stay this way because it was later in the season.
And then you turn right around and drop a game to fucking Jets or some shit. I don't know what it was exactly.
Yeah, it was some stupid ass game.
Yeah. Come on.
Yep. Like you said, Call of Duty came out there.
They're the most. That team pisses me off more than any team in the NFL.
It's not even
because
the
I
team.
love Kyler. I've always had a soft spot for Kyler.
Yeah.
I'm a college football fanatic,
Mhm.
and when he balled out in Oklahoma, come on, man. I pulled for him because of his stature.
Yeah.
He's so small that everybody said he can't play the position. Come on, man. I mean, you see when he's aggressive and takes off with the ball, who the hell is stopping him?
Nobody. I told you, he played against us calling touchdowns before he crossed the line of scrimmage.
Right.
And we're not talking red zone. We're talking a 40-yard run.
Oh, yeah, he did it last season.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, as soon as he broke the line of scrimmage.
Finger went up.
Yep.
Yep.
And come on, man. I mean, if I'm a Cardinal fan, I'm pissed.
I am too.
I am pissed. I'm not saying that we're good enough to win the chip, but you should have a lot more, at least playoff victories.
We know because look at the last couple seasons, man. They start off 8-0, 9-0, 10-0, and then crumble.
Yeah, barely make the playoffs if they do.
And then crumble.
Yep.
I don't know. I just think that Kyler need to get his shit together. That defense ain't horrible, but
No, it's not terrible, but
they
it's not enough.
they follow the goddamn identity of their quarterback.
Right. I was gonna say. I mean, they're not horrible, but it's not enough to balance out your
No,
inconsistencies.
not at all. Not at all. You can't have an inconsistent quarterback with an inconsistent defense.
Right.
So, last but not least, man, say the best for last. Say no.
I see you.
San Francisco 49ers, man. Brock got paid. Debo got released. I'm traded. Kittle got paid. Fred got paid. Am I missing somebody? Everybody got paid. Trent got paid. CMC got paid. Everybody got paid. All right. You go in the draft, and you draft strictly defense for 4 straight rounds. Not just defense, defensive linemen. You throw a cornerback in there, but really, defense. 4 rounds. You go get Robert Saleh to run it again.
Which is huge.
I'm telling you right now. We win that division. That is not a bias thing. That is, we've had the Rams number for years now. I know it seemed like they kind of got that monkey off their back last year. I think they run into that problem again. Our defense hasn't looked this stacked on the defensive line since Defoe, Eric Armstead, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. And there was another D Ford.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's the defensive line. That's what it looks like right now. It's almost identical. You can look at that's the front 7 and almost interchange players, like compare the players that was there then and the ones there now. Salah, no mistake, and not coincidence, coached that defense with Defoe and all them D4. He went and built that shit. I feel like they literally told him. I feel like that was a stipulation for him signing with us. He was like, if we're going to do this, you're going to let me have full range of that defense, because that's what he had before he left, because Kyle was Jill nil, and he didn't have as much pull. Whereas now, Kyle is at the point we've seen him yelling at defensive ends, defensive coordinators in the Super Bowl on the sideline. That wasn't Kyle when he first came into San Francisco. He was letting Salah do what he did, because he didn't know, so I'm going to handle this. And I feel like Salah was like, if I'm coming back with that same mindset. And I am proud, and I think that he did a hell of a job this offseason with resurging that defense that was giving up way too many rushing yards last year. Way too many. And the year before that also. The reason that Wilkins apparently got fired. And then you bring Brandon Staley and the other guy, and same result. So,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we saw that. I'm hoping that Salah did what he's done. I hope Salah saw that, and the reason that he brought in who he brought, because Salah can build the defense. You saw he went to the Jets. put that Jets defense in top 3. And right after he took our defense that was middle pack 15, 16 and took us down to 1. So I'm looking at him being able to do that again with some of the players that's there now that was there when he was there the first time. So the chemistry is already there. They know what he needs. They know what he expects. We win that division. Full healthy CMC. A full back BA.
As long as he stays healthy.
As long as he stays healthy.
Both of them.
All of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Kittle
saying,
too. That's been our problem.
Kittle, yeah. But especially last year. The injuries killed.
Dude, we get decimated.
Yo.
We get decimated. When the injury bug hits us,
Yeah.
it's an infestation, nigga. We get
Yeah,
decimated.
I say it's at least between you and the Rams. I'm not gonna crown either one of y'all yet. I think schedule-wise, you have a very good possibility.
I didn't even touch on that. Exactly, that too.
A very good possibility. But yeah, I mean, just based on the division, everything we just talked about, I definitely think it's a two-team race. It ain't gonna be like last year, because last season it was. I mean, everybody was in it. Like going into the like the
up
last,
until like week, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was something crazy.
Up until like week 14, 15.
Yeah,
Every team was still one game out of it. Two
So
games.
I don't see it being like that unless, who knows? I mean, unless Seattle gets something fired up, unless Kyler's aggressive for a full
season or a full quarter of a
Right.
season. Yeah.
But barring all that, I would say between y'all and the Rams.
I think this division.
I will say I think y'all perform above expectation.
I agree because there's a lot of pointers right now saying we won't even make the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
And I don't see
and
that.
all they're basing that on
last
is
year.
y'all's losses.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
y'all the personnel that y'all lost.
Right. Yeah.
That's all. They're not
Yeah.
even talking about who y'all drafted.
Nope.
Salah
Nope.
coming back. Nothing of that. It's just, well, they lost this person. Nah, it's just too much to come back from.
Right. But I think, like I said, I told you last year, or not last year, I told you during the offseason already. For those people, I like to revisit the Buffalo Bills, who decimated. Yeah.
And of course, like I said, I was one of them. I said the same
You
thing.
and me
I said,
both. You and me both.
Buffalo, no, they lost too much.
You and me both. So I don't know. We'll see. I think it's there, Cal. It's hard to put you on the hot seat just because of the success you have had, but at some time it's like, okay, the NFC Championship and making the Super Bowl is not enough. You need to win one of them things.
Yeah.
You need to win one of them things. That's just what it is. So right now your reputation is you cannot win the big one. Remove that. I don't know if you can do it this year because there's a lot of talent in the NFL, a lot of teams coming up and teams that are solidifying themselves, but you need to make a push. But anyway, man, that's the podcast for this week, man. That's the yard. Look to us coming at you every Tuesday. Look to us doing this, being face to face with y'all now. Hoping that y'all can give us some comments. We love feedback. We need feedback. I don't give a damn. You be like, that nigga Chain look crazy as shit. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Say whatever you want. Just if you're talking to us, we talk back. We love y'all. This is the Yard. I'm Rod. This is Breezy. Call us anytime. Look us up. Subscribe. Follow. We have a website. We have a Facebook. Call the Yard. Look us up. Get on there. We got content, man. We'll be cutting content up there all year. We look forward to speaking to y'all. We look forward to doing this thing all year, man. We love y'all. So y'all, peace.